I've never seen a town make so much progress in the just 2 years since I've been here. This is what needs to happen in every Route 66 town. I never thought I would actually see something like this come together. It's easy to see why Pops in Arcadia, Oklahoma is famous. For one thing, it's got the world's largest soda bottle, all 66 feet of which lights up at night along the old highway. For another thing, the very unusual structure next door to the bottle is full of hundreds of types of very bizarre soda pops, as well as serving up delicious food. Look, London, I got you some gamer goop. What's less obvious is why a 128-year-old barn is an iconic roadside attraction. Until you see it. We're back on Route 66 in Arcadia, Oklahoma, where, as you can see, the weather has started to turn on us a little bit. But whether or not, the weather is fine. We're gonna try not to let that cramp our style. We're gonna see all that we can see today, starting with this, the Round Barn, which has been sitting here along the side of old Route 66 since before there was a Route 66. This place was built in 1898 by a guy with the unusual name of William Harrison Odor. Oh, that's right. That's Mr. Odor to you. You see, Mr. Odor had the crazy idea that a round barn with a round domed ceiling would survive the Oklahoma winds a little better than a square structure. And he must have been right, because this thing stood out here for 90 years solid until the roof finally collapsed in 1988. But not to worry, the round barn was so beloved that a group of elderly volunteers calling themselves the Over the Hill Gang worked diligently to restore this place within 4 years. See, they couldn't let this place fall into ruins, because not only is it an absolutely visually iconic symbol of the old times along Route 66, which got here in 1926, 100 years ago, but it was also the place that back in the day all their grandparents had their old-timey barn dances. Swing your partner up and down, let's build a barn and make it round! Now, this is a great place for Scooty Putin, but I just have one thought. The downstairs was an actual working barn with animals in it, so there must have been quite a William Odor floating up during those dances, huh? Yeah. Not to worry though, there's no odor here anymore. Downstairs today is a free museum. Oh, look at this. See, I didn't make it up. William H. Odor. A lot of information about the barn's preservation and restoration. I love the little miniature barn lamp over here. Look at that. You can clearly see that Arcadians love their round barn, because there's a lot of replicas of the barn within the barn. Apparently, rebuilding it once was just not enough. I love this, because the barn is stocked with all kinds of sweet souvenirs, weird vintage items, historical information about the Odor family and their neighbors, old photos of some of the lost icons along Route 66. Every time I come here, this place changes just a little bit. Oh, please don't tell me that's the Odors again. Oh, I love this artwork. You used to be able to purchase this artwork here because they had an older guy out here called the Barn Man who would create these hand-painted artistic signs. I've got a few of them at home. I stocked up shortly before the Barn Man passed away. If I'm remembering correctly, the Barn Man's name was Butch Brager, and by the way, this horse's name is Barney. A lot of his artwork in here. You got an old lathe in here, some old farming implements, an old railroad luggage wagon, a very random assortment of suspenders and belts for sale, and plenty of implements that would have been here out on the old farmhouse. Now, what the heck is this? Did you see the monkey inside the house? Monkey house. To see monkey, open door. Where's the monkey? Oh, it's a mirror. That makes me angry. Tough but fair. Okay, look at this. The barn may be old, but look at what is brand new. One of the volunteers here, Shellee, who's very friendly, has been showing us this Route 66 merchandise vending machine. Look at this, like something from Japan. They got a bunch of Route 66 t-shirts in there, koozies, patches, pins, whatever you need. All designed and printed by Mythic Press in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and they get about 10% here. What'd you say, Lennon? It's one of 9 in the state? Mm-hmm. 9 in the state. These have been created and placed especially for the centennial celebration of Oklahoma Route 66. Who knows what happens to them after that? But what a weird, cool, sick idea. If only Mr. Odor could have seen this. Look at this. This is perfect, because Shellee Graham wrote this book, Route 66, the first 100 years, with Jim Ross, who's on his way. We're gonna get some signed copies, London. Okay, look at this. I have Jim Ross and Shellee Graham in the same place at the same time, in the Round Barn. In the Round Barn. We're gonna get the book signed, and I have an older book that I'm gonna try and get you to sign too. See? I can strong arm you guys. Dude, that was so awesome running into Jim Ross and Shellee Graham at the same time, getting a fun pick. Some of my Route 66 heroes. In fact, Jim helped to write one of my Bibles for Oklahoma Route 66. I know it's just one of those Images of America books, but this is actually a really good and useful one. And now I got it signed, and Jim paid me all these nice compliments that I'm not gonna repeat. Anyway, anyone who volunteers at, writes about, or helps rebuild historic structures is my hero, because as you can see right in front of us, without those people, things fall apart quickly. Look at Teuton's drugstore. Actually, I've never known if it's Teuton's, Tuttons, Teutons. This old drugstore in Arcadia has been standing out here forever, and obviously it's suffered a structural collapse. It takes very special people to prevent this from just going all the way down to the rubble, and I hope someone's on it. It looks like there's some heavy equipment out here parked nearby. You know what? If it wasn't for all those volunteers, the Over the Hill gang, the Arcadia round barn would have fallen apart and blown down long ago. This is helpful though. Look at this old store on the corner. Looks like there's a brand new boutique and gift shop in there. But we need visionaries. We need more visionaries on Route 66 and all these little towns. So many little buildings with so much potential. It all depends on the next generation of dreamers, volunteers, builders, maybe even you. All right, we got a lot of mileage to cover today. We're going all the way to Tulsa, Oklahoma. This portion of Route 66, the old original 100-year-old portion, is one of the best stretches in all nearly 2,500 miles of the route. Basically, the whole way from Oklahoma City to Tulsa, it's got these long, unbroken, old stretches of Route 66 that are maintained nice and modern and smooth. But then right off of them, you can often find stretches of even older Route 66. That's a little narrower, a little more true to its original 1926 spirit, sometimes with the original pavement or the original like curb sides. What do you call those? Pavement parentheses? And this is what I usually do. I usually take this little split off onto this old piece of road next to Arcadia, Oklahoma. First of all, it goes to this beautiful, quiet, peaceful little neighborhood. Second of all, this was the main transportation corridor between 1926 and 1952 from Chicago to LA. So much traffic came down here that it's actually on the National Register of Historic Places. It's so well preserved. But third of all, because Paul McCartney was here, he once traveled down this road and stopped right here where this sign is in front of these houses and asked the locals if indeed he was on old Route 66. They've never forgotten it. And there's even a sign right here where he was. We were just doing a bit of a trip, bit of a toe tapper. Anyway, because I always come down this older alignment, I skip the later one, the post-1952 one, all the time. But there's something on that newer alignment that I've always wanted to stop at and never have. Well, you can definitely see why they realigned the highways eventually. That's just us and one big old Chevy truck. You can imagine two like full-on 50s semi-trucks coming by each other right here. That would be insanely close. So I'm gonna finish up this old 1926 alignment, which by the way has its original pavement on this portion. Look at that. And then I'm gonna backtrack up the newer alignment because to my shame, I have never been to OK County 66. And what is OK County 66? That's what we're about to find out. Look at this. The gate is open. Dude, this place is the private home of a man named John Hargrove, who built a little Route 66 attraction over here on his property by actually replicating all of Route 66 in miniature. Jim and Shellee highly encouraged this. I don't usually find myself in the position of parking on somebody's private property and then going looking for someone I never met before. Wow, this is amazing. The amount of times I've driven by but never got to stop. We're looking for John himself. We hear a radio, but we don't see any humans. He's got a couple of buildings scattered around this property, so who knows where he is. Anyways, check that out. You saw that little miniature bug ranch down there. He's got his own twin arrows out here, still proudly standing up. There's a sick old chopper out here, Easy Rider style, and there he is up there, the man himself. Hello, John. My name's Justin.
I'm totally...
Oh, I would shake your hand. Okay, I would shake your hand, but yeah, that probably wouldn't come off. The outside self-explanatory, so we're going inside. Oh my gosh.
That car came out of California many, many years ago.
That's amazing. That's like American Graffiti in here. This is awesome. But look at the airplane. No, I don't have one, not yet. Oh, this is awesome. This is cooler than any Route 66 museum. This is amazing.
This is the end of Route 60, Santa Monica Pier.
Oh, yeah.
That's a picture I painted that from.
That's where we're from. We're from Southern California.
Yeah.
We live right by Disneyland. On Allstate Vespa.
Yeah. Sears sold them new and they rebadged them.
I never knew that. That's amazing. I love how it's set up like the perfect photo op.
1920.
That's 1920 right there.
This radio shelter was built between 1917 and 1922.
Dang. So this thing's older than the route. I like that you got the outhouse ready to go in here.
Yeah, it's a working toilet.
Really? Oh, that's amazing. Okay, you said this is the museum? The whole place looks like an awesome museum. Oh my gosh. This is incredible. Wow.
Are you up on who Bob Waldmeyer is?
Oh, yeah. Bob Waldmeyer's a legend. Oh, look at this. There he is. It's a whole tribute. The real life Route 66 Fillmore. Oh, look at that. You got a whole building over here. Yeah. You got the Merrimack Caverns barn roof and your own drive-in theater over there.
It was messing up on me, and rather than mess with fixing it, I just
put a TV. Oh, man. So you painted that. You built the teepee. Oh, I love the teepee. That is so cool. Wigwam Motel. And then look at that, Tucumcari Tonight. Yeah, I've never seen a big boy like that, so it makes sense that you made it. It looks so good, I thought it was something they made.
Something, it fits the spot.
Yeah.
When you get something,
yeah, you just have to rely on luck. I love this. You got the gas station counter. We're inside the filling station. Yeah, we just got his new book right now. We just got him and Shellee to sign it.
Yeah, the first 3 chapters are fabulous.
I can't wait to read them. I love that. The old gas station. I love that you got the diner right here. And now we got to go up to the upper deck. He told us to just enjoy London. Oh, and look at this. Look at the library. And sticking out of the upper deck is the front of an old Volkswagen Beetle. And not just any old Volkswagen Beetle. I believe right now, overlooking Route 66, we are sitting inside of a Herbie the Love Bug. Look, there's London. Yay! Dude, John is so cool. He lets everybody wander around in here for free. He was offering us Cokes and waters from the fridge. He apparently has been a garageaholic, as he says, his whole life. Cars, airplanes. At one point, he owned a little airport over here and a bunch of airplanes and decided to sell them to buy this place and build all this. And as you can see, this is amazing. His own magical property, Route 66 in miniature, all in one guy's front yard. Dude, this is a Route 66 attraction unlike any other. Just watch your head as you go back inside now. John does accept donations. Even when I asked about it, he was trying to make it like not a very big deal. But I insisted on finding out where the donation box was. He said, that's right, you should come in through this door. So I think on the other side. By the way, I asked him if he built Felix the cat. He says, no, but I painted him. He was naked when I got him. Dude, this might be the coolest house I have ever seen. If it is a house, it's a house, a workshop, a garage, a museum. He said he built this part so people could have birthday parties in here. That is my new dream. I want to have a gluten-free pizza party in this place. Dude, that was so sick. He lied to me about where the donation box is. I don't see any donation box. London's just going to cleverly leave out some money on the pinball machine, I guess. Dude, this is amazing. Look at all the handmade and hand-assembled stuff. I love that he made this outhouse with a working toilet in it. But look at this. Even the murals. You got the cozy dog right there from Illinois. You got Snoopy up here. The old camel. Then look at his office right here. The control center. And best of all, dude, he's rocking AC/DC out here. Dirty deeds done dirt cheap. Look at this. He's still working on old cars. Look at that's Buddy. Hello, Buddy. Okay, there's the donation box. That's good. We didn't have to leave it on the pinball machine. Stick them 5s down in there. Dude, John is insane. First of all, he's in his 80s now and still working on cars, still working on his hot rod, and still customizing everything he can find. Look at this thing over here. He said he built this out of a 2007 Chevrolet Malibu. Look at this weird thing. You don't see a lot of automobiles going down the road that look like a Naboo fighter from the Phantom Menace. Look at that freaking 2-seater cockpit right there. Looks like a little bit of a soapbox derby racer. Even the freaking lawnmower is customized. He's very proud, by the way, of having the first replica Fillmore on Route 66. Bob Waldmeyer himself came out to check this out. You know what he was telling me in there is that he's run over 300 marathons and at least 3 100-mile run things down Route 66. So he's got a whole case of trophies in there for his marathons. I was telling him, like, well, I feel embarrassed now because I can barely walk down the street. I love this over here. Look at this. Caution, low-flying aircraft. He's got plenty of room to expand up here, and he says he's still working on it, one piece at a time. I love that there's bits of missiles sticking out of everything, old gas pumps. Look at that old motel sign. He's built his own crazy attraction here right on the side of old Route 66, which I am always super jealous of. Anyone that gets to do this, I'm like, this is it. What a kindred spirit. Oh, by the way, look at that. The lawnmower's for sale if you want them. $600? Not a bad deal. What an interesting character, dude. This is exactly why I travel, because this is the kind of person I love to meet. Got the old traffic lights, the parking meter off here in the bushes. Oh, and then there's the sign. Look at that. OK County 66 Museum. I love Humpty Dumpty up there. He says he builds a lot of that stuff out of just plain old regular styrofoam. Look at this. I don't even know what that thing is. But this is the Petro Man. He's not the Tin Man. Don't get him mixed up. And the Petro Man is ready to pump your Gulftane gas. Dude, I love that he's an old rock and roller, dude. Just rocking and rolling in there. Look at, there's Herbie the Love Bug sticking out of the side of the building. We were just sitting in that thing right in front of his 1937 WP era fire hydrant. He's built his own Kachinas out here. There's the outside of the gas station. We were inside with an old visible gas pump. Look at that. It's a Texaco Super Service Station. Dude, I love those gas pumps. And I love that water pump. I love the detail. 66 stamped in the concrete with a bunch of horseshoes. You see that a lot out west. Dude, I love this. One man built his own Route 66 in his backyard. And right there in his front yard is the actual Route 66. And just the fact that he's actually out here to greet people in person. We signed his guest book. We saw visitors from all over the world stop here. It's kind of tough because he's competing with that old alignment of Route 66 from the 1920s. That one that we just drove down is just there over that hill. But as much as I always recommend taking the oldest alignments you can, make sure to drive the newer one first. He says as long as the gate is open, you are welcome to stop in. There's just one thing on the property that we haven't seen yet. If my memory serves, not only does John have his own twin arrows out here, and his own miniature oil pumps, I seem to recall seeing his own blue whale from the roadside. It must be deeper down on the property. Oh, I think I see it down there. I know he dug his own pond for it, so the blue whale would have its own pond, but I guess the water all leaked out. Here's the pond down here, nice and dry. Although look at these spooky lush woods down yonder, and there it is. A little brick deck right here. And there it is. Kind of buried down here now, and the bushes have grown up, so you can't see it from the road very well at the present, but look at that. He built his own giant foam blue whale. He's peeling now. He needs a little bit of a restoration. Probably one of those projects John will get back to at some point. But this is amazing. It's just styrofoam and looks like a little bit of fiberglass coating. Sure, it could use a touch-up, but dude, this is awesome. Folk art mecca right on the side of old Route 66. Dude, this is the freaking coolest place ever. And it only took me 20 years to come out and pay a visit. He's been doing this, by the way, for 25 years. So I'm kind of glad I waited because I still got to meet him and there was more to see. Anyway, we got to get to Tulsa and it's quite a ways away and there's a lot more to see today. So let's hit it. Like I said, one of the best stretches of Route 66 anywhere. And there are wonders about every 5 minutes down your path, like this. The old rock station, the old abandoned Conoco station, just sitting on the edge of a very nice gentleman named Mr. Sam's farm over here. He allows visitors to come in here, past the barbed wire. Legend says that they used to counterfeit money back here behind this station, although Mr. Sam, who ought to know, says, I don't think any of that was ever true. Someone's left a little bit of Jack Kerouac in here. That's awesome. These are just those kind of like amazing places you fantasize about finding. Well, if only there was less traffic outside today. I think this place was built in the 19-teens or the 1920s. Nobody knows for sure. Dude, I gotta be honest with you, the weather was bumming me out. Storms are coming, it's getting stressed out, whether we're gonna make it to the end of the route or not. Which doesn't really matter because I'll be back regardless. I was starting to get in a mood this morning, but I'll tell you what, my mood is already improved within the first just like 10 miles of this trip today. I do wish my buddy was out here with us. He was supposed to be on this trip, but I'm glad my son is with me, even though I'm just crazy old dad on this road trip. By the way, I left a couple of free stickers out here at the pet cemetery. We try to drop those off in some places. I guess we better keep going because this isn't all. There's so many amazing stops along this route. And we got nasty weather coming, so we got to see as much as we can while we can. Make hay while the sun shines. Dude, and look at this, just outside Luther, Oklahoma. Look at this epic new neon sign they've got. Look at this, is the Orchard on 66. It says visit Luther, Oklahoma, which is just sort of off the Mother Road, off in that direction. And right here in front of the neon sign, these people have pulled up in their trailer. Smash Burgers. London's getting a little food right now. Dude, look at that, dude. You just got the freshest freaking burger on the freaking route. Dude, Luther's a cute little town. It's got a very, very cute little downtown. Nice and tiny, all tucked up against the railroad tracks. I love seeing some of these old buildings, these sleepy little towns. Got a little store over here, a little mural going on. This is an adorable little place. Dude, and look at this old train car parked along the tracks. I don't know what that is or was, but that is cool looking. Normally I never stop in the actual town of Luther. Usually I'm just cruising down Route 66 to get to this, the old Threatt Filling Station over here. Spelled like threat with an extra T. Alan Threatt Sr. built this filling station sometime around 1915 on the Threatt family farm, more than 10 years before Route 66 even existed out here. And it's so rare and so important because this was one of the rare safe stops for African Americans during the Jim Crow era. What made it even more special is that this was black owned as well, and I've been filming this for years, along with the old bar and tavern they built next door. This is a very rare and important piece of American roadside history. And not only have they really cleaned this place up, they've been getting it ready to reopen for the 66th centennial. But look at the new sign Oklahoma put out here. And if you look back to my first video of this place around 2016 or 17, something like that, this building looked like, I mean, not like it was gonna fall down, but like it could be close to that era of its life, you know? But the Threatt family has done a heck of a job, along with a lot of other people, of getting this place restored and up to snuff. Look at these old gas pumps out here. The paper's all out of the windows now. They got a portrait of their founder there behind the little soda fountain bar. I can see some sick merchandise in there through the window. Look at those booths, look at that counter. As we film this, we're still out here about a week before Memorial Day, so it'll probably open soon. I wish it was open now, but apparently not at the moment. I have always wanted to go inside of this place. I mean, for years and years and years, and it looks like very, very soon we'll have the chance. Heck yeah, dude. One of the best Route 66 stories, the best kind of stories along the American roadside, you know? It was so hard for African Americans to travel back in that era that they had their own guidebooks called the Negro Motorist Green Book, just so that they'd be able to find places that would welcome them. This is one of the most significant entries in that green book, and it's coming back to life over 100 years since its founding. That's crazy. All right, we gotta keep boogieing, keep going towards Tulsa. We barely begun to 66 today. Look at this, another 1926 old alignment of Route 66 coming into the little Oklahoma town of Wellston with the freaking biggest American flag I think I've ever seen in my whole life. We were out here about 2 years ago looking at this, and this is still being taken care of by a local family. But if you want more information than that, you'll have to go back and watch our last series on Route 66. As cute as Wellston is, we're not here for the historic downtown. We're here to see some new stuff. Look, they got this sign here for the Centennial. It looks like it got beat up by the wind pretty bad already. There's something else new just outside of the old downtown. Actually, hold on, put a pin in that, because Wellston has another new attraction. I've seen the Butcher barbecue stand out here before. I've even seen Bigfoot out here before. Oh man, now my mouth's gonna turn blue. Oklahoma Bigfoot. But this over here, this is new. Apparently they've built a vintage and collectibles shop over here. I love the advertisement. Send your wife over here. There's a brand new Will Rogers Highway marker out here. They call it the Will Rogers Highway in Oklahoma because he was from Oklahoma. And look at this down here. It gives you information about the founding of Wellston and how it was a trading post when it was part of the Kickapoo Nation. I've never seen one of these so brand new that it still has the plastic on it. Route 66 may have got its number in March of 1926, but the U.S. highway system didn't technically start until November. So his actual birthday is in November, even though this summer kicks off the whole centennial celebration. So a lot of new stuff is being added. But that's not why I pulled over. I pulled over because this little store is called Yaya's Matchstick Collectibles. And would you look at the size of this? Not only do they have an epic neon sign inside the store, which I can't show you because it's closed, but they have what has to be one of the world's largest matchsticks outside. They turn this old pole into a big old matchstick. And then the box is right here. He's the mascot of the store. Okay, you can actually see that neon sign through the window. Look at that thing, that is cool. Dude, people are getting creative out here in Wellston, and I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. Dude, that was totally unexpected. What I was actually referring to, what we were actually gonna see is just over here underneath the freeway underpass. And please remember that I told you to put a pin in that for a moment, because that was clever of me. Because bullseye, this is what we're after. Look at this. One of the newest attractions on Route 66, unveiled less than a month ago. It is a giant 25-foot high push pin in a bullseye called You Are Here by artist Joseph McConnell. Look at that, dedicated April 23rd, 2026, 3 days shy of a month ago. And what this is supposed to mark is the halfway point of Route 66 through Oklahoma, although I'm a little bit skeptical of that. Dude, it's absolutely massive. It lights up at night. It's completely covered with artwork like a Tiffany lamp. We're not gonna see it at night on this trip, but I wish we were going to, because look at that. Here we are on Route 66, some epic old school artwork up there. I know it's hard to see because we're kind of backlit by the cloudy weather, but it's covered. Dude, I have to say, so far, out of the states we've been in, Oklahoma has done the best job of making something out of the centennial celebration. Because first of all, and you knew I was gonna say this, would you look at the size of that push pin? And then there's all those new signs going up in all these different towns. Then look at this, even this on the freeway over here, the new bridge. You got the Route 66 shield down here. You've got old photos, Route 66 history enshrined in metal. And then another sign acknowledging the artist right here. I mean, that is so freaking cool. California has basically done nothing so far that I've seen. I don't want to criticize anyone else, but I feel free to criticize my home state. We have really let the ball drop. Oklahoma is crushing it. They have really hit the bullseye with this one. Okay, we're only halfway across Oklahoma on Route 66 apparently. That's because the stretch after Tulsa is a lot longer than I always think it is. I love this push pin for Wellston because it was kind of a forgotten Route 66 town for so long, and now they've kind of staked their claim to fame out here. Dude, we are not gonna be able to fit all the epic Route 66 stuff along our path today into one episode. It's impossible. There's at least 7 more epic Route 66 towns along this stretch here. I guess we'll just have to show things a little more briefly as we move along. Refer back to our old series for the old stuff. We'll try to keep our eyes open for more things that are new. Man, this is a beautiful part of the Mother Road. We're gonna keep on cruising right past this up here, Seba Station, which appears to be closed today anyways. Pretty epic little motorcycle museum in there. Make a stop if you can. I know that Oklahoma is not the first place you think of when you think of like epic tourism, but seriously, Route 66 through Oklahoma is something you should definitely add to your bucket list. Dude, what the heck? Speaking of new things, there's a freaking new casino out here, a Harrah's, right on Route 66. Oh, and another one across the street. It's closed though today. I'd stop, but my life is already enough of a gamble without going into the casinos. Oh, look at that. They freshened up the old Merrimack Caverns barn over here. I love that. They had advertisements all up and down the Mother Road, just like that, painting them on people's barns like the mailed pouch tobacco. The birthplace of the bumper sticker, by the way. London and I went to Merrimack Caverns 2 years ago. Filmed an episode down there, check it out. All right, now entering Chandler, Oklahoma on old Route 66, there are some new things that I don't like. In fact, some things I absolutely hate, like they just tore down the old famous St. Cloud Hotel that was right here in this gap very recently. That's what I'm talking about. We are losing history every day, even on stretches where people really do care about the route. No one took care of that old historic building, a beautiful, huge old brick structure. And now it's a gaping hole in the community. It was on the National Register of Historic Places since the 80s. It was built in 1904 and had the first elevator in Chandler. And now it's this, because nobody stepped up and stepped in to preserve it. Dude, I need to win the Powerball. It's not all bad news though in Chandler. There's lots of new stuff here that is good. Like, look at this. The tiny Pink Flamingo Visitor Center and Gift Shop. By the way, I feel like I'm Knight Rider out here, you know? Because every time I need the car to come, London just brings it up. I feel like it's like Kit or something. I love the pink flamingos. That's a good idea. They really stand out here. Oh, cool. Look at this.
Thank you.
I never saw this before. This is awesome. Oh, what is this? A present? Oh, thank you. Look at the postcard. We are from Anaheim, California, right by Disneyland. London's gonna stick a pin in the map showing where we came from, so we don't forget. Never forget your roots. Okay, these are cool. Look at this. They got the little magnet there. They got the stickers. Oh, you can try the slot machine. Pull it. What happens? Ah, we didn't win. If we won, we would have got a chocolate. She's gonna let you take one anyways. Look at that. Oh,
Oklahoma.
yeah, they got all these Oklahoma attractions on the Oklahoma Route 66 playing cards. We're getting those. Thank you, Mariko. That's so awesome. That's so nice of you. But I love it. It's so tiny and cute. Oh, look at that. It's Flat Will Rogers right there. I don't know why I pointed at his crotch. That was not intentional. Dude, see what I mean about Oklahoma crushing it? They have multiple free guides that are like magazines. Look at that. Look at the holographic cover. Oklahoma, 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 Oklahoma. He loves Oklahoma's wide open spaces. He loves to run and run. Look at this. There's tons of other new shops in Chandler, new places to eat. And yes, they still have plenty of historic downtown left to see, including a museum up here, which I've never actually seen open. Is it open? Come on, museum, be open. Ah, it's not open. It's never open! Plus, they still have one of the cutest, best preserved little Phillips 66 stations anywhere on the planet. Chandler's also the place with that old restored armory that's now a Route 66 visitor center and museum. Or excuse me, interpretive center, which is a phrase I really don't understand. Look at this, they got one of those new Oklahoma signs out here for Chandler. It's also home of the very famous Lincoln Motel, an old school Route 66 motel I still have not stayed at. And this is the home of Jerry McClanahan, the author of the Easy Guide to Route 66 himself. Where else but Route 66 could you go into a 1930s armory right along the side of the highway, lay in a bed, and watch footage of old Route 66. Actually, there's multiple beds, and there's some old Mustang seats. You could watch it from a tandem bicycle. There's a lot of videos to watch on the ceiling in here. Also, a lot of old mementos as well. There's lots of people here who can give you a friendly guided tour. Oh, and don't forget the big, huge hall in the armory where they used to do all their marching and drilling. Dude, I am so excited right now because just around the corner from the armory is McJerry's. It's Jerry McClanahan's business, his Route 66 gallery. Like I say, he literally wrote the book on Route 66. There would basically be no Route 66 traveling without people like Jerry McClanahan. I hope he's in here. Oh, look at this. He's here. One of the few Route 66 things I've never seen. This is awesome. Look at this artwork in here. It's a little embarrassing not to show up with the new edition, but at least I have my Old Faithful edition there.
That's right. Are you going west?
No, we're going east.
Okay.
We're going upstream.
There'll be a lot of new giants. There'll be some changes here and there to a few intersections and all, but I can mark a couple of things for you right now.
Okay, let's see.
176.
I wasn't expecting you to update it. We can buy a new one as well, but I wanted Old Faithful signed over there.
Sure.
I'm not going to stop you from hand editing it, though. That's amazing.
I've got new ones.
This is so cool. Look at these old Toys R Us trucks down there. Oh, man, what a collection. Oh, look
I think you're doing it right.
that.
Keep it up. Thank you very much.
Oh, gee.
Excellent.
Hey,
Excellent.
look at that snake sign. Where'd the snake sign come from?
Joseph City, Arizona. If you were hearing that baby cry for another probably 7 or 8 miles, you would come to it. It was called Apache Fort, and it was a fake fort, had a fake hanging and all this stuff. It burned down in the 90s.
Okay.
And then I was there on the west end of town where there used to be a billboard for them, and this sign and that sign that said 4-horn sheep laying in a ditch. So I asked the neighbors if I could have them.
Oh, that is so
And
cool.
then it filled my Toyota from the whole right side. I had to slam the hatch.
That's so cool.
And the jackrabbit sign I bought from a property owner near Santa Rosa, New Mexico, 381 miles away from the jackrabbit.
Wow.
In Tulsa City.
That is
Of course, my dad
so
never
cool.
stopped there. My brother and I would try to spot the signs first. That was our card game.
Yeah, I don't even think Cindy and Tony have one that old. That is
No.
cool. This is Jerry's creation, Rudy, and they're going to be building a giant version of him soon. Whoa.
Here I am dropping my pistol out
Look
the
at that
window.
neon.
And just all the and then
Oh, what
there's
is
the
that?
zombie Route 66 coming back after the interstates killed him.
Zombie Rudy. Okay, I get it now.
And then there's my family at a old trading post, but we're dead.
Wow, the artwork is amazing.
This is Rudy and his family against his evil twin.
Oh, what a collection in here. Oh, I love the old ashtrays.
Ashtrays are a trip, you know.
Yeah.
That was a viable way to advertise.
Is this where the magic happens all right
That's
here?
where I do painting.
Oh, look, there's a little Butch artwork right there.
Yeah.
Little barn man son. So 1981, that's your first
First
Route
one,
66
on the
photo.
negative strip, that's the first one that come up.
Man.
And
What year was the first Easy Guide?
2005.
Man.
And the map series I did with Jim was 94.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So, you know,
I think I have those in the car too.
I'm sure. You bet. We went from Shamrock to Victorville, and from there we took off towards Castaic and Newhall, where we used to live.
Dude, maybe it's not a big deal to some people, but I am meeting one of my Route 66 freaking heroes in there. The freaking Easy Guide, the freaking classic Here It Is map series, what she did with Jim Ross. I didn't even think about having Jim sign these today. Dang it. There would be no modern retro Route 66 traveling without these guys. They literally blazed the trail, or found the old trail, for all of us.
He's in this flying pose.
Okay, so the 66 man, that's going to be the Giant.
Here in Chandler.
And he's going up this summer.
Going up this summer, July 4th will be the celebration of the new park. Okay, this is embarrassing. They asked me if they could use the Giant. I said, sure. They didn't tell me they named the park McClanahan Park.
Oh, that is cool.
So I'm working on 4 mural panels. We're going to have a 10-foot tall Easy Guide out there and some other stuff. So yeah, it's been fun, but it's embarrassing. Nobody in Chandler knows me because I just hunker down and do my art and writing. People coming along Route 66.
You could go sit at the Armory all day and do like a Crazy Legs thing, you know?
I could do that. I do that here, though, except I can't turn my feet around backwards.
Man, this is so cool.
You can't stay there now.
They've got original paintings. He's got a lot of prints for sale here. This is decades and decades and decades of work. Well, we should have been like 4, 5, 6 towns ahead by now, but we keep meeting living legends of Route 66. And you know what? I really cannot complain about that. We ran out of time for the new 66 Bowl, which, by the way, is the coolest bowling alley ever. We did a whole episode about that last year because it was just amazing. I think we only got about an hour of light left, so we gotta go as far as we can because we've got to sleep in Tulsa tonight. Normally what I would do when a day takes longer than expected like this is I would just slow down. I'd stay in the middle. I'd extend my trip by a few days. It always ends up happening, but I've got to be in Astoria, Oregon in 2 weeks from the time that I'm out here. We're still fighting bad weather as it is, so we've got to keep them moving. Dude, something is happening because all out on the road from Chandler, I have seen new neon signs all surrounding the town of Stroud, and look at this one out here on the edge. Look at that neon sign. Did somebody open a neon shop in Stroud or what? Every little RV park, every little business, and then look at this. They've got an absolutely massive Route 66 shield up there, along with their new town entry sign. And look at this. Look at the Skyliner Motel over here, all fixed up, and look at that beautiful neon sign. I spy with my little eye the same thing down the road at the Sooner Motel towards the interstate. Even this little donut shop, GG Donut, has got a brand new neon sign. Look at those neon sprinkles. I didn't notice the little car wash has a neon sign above it. What the heck is going on here? Dude, now I strongly wished we'd stayed over here in this town, but how was I to know? Stroud was always one of the more forlorn, forgotten feeling parts of Route 66. Look at that! There's a freaking neon turtle right there. The liquor store has a neon turtle. The little construction company's got one. The Asian Gourmet has got one. I see one over there at the Green Leaf store. The little hometown pharmacy has got one. Dude, virtually every business on Route 66. Like every little insurance shop. And by the way, there's an unusual number of insurance shops right on this road. Any and every business that is open out here. And by the way, there are a lot more businesses open down here than I ever remember there being. They've all got neon. Look at this down the side streets. You got the Stroud Locker mini storage place. There's a tiny little barber shop down that way with one. I get that it's the 100th anniversary of Route 66, but seriously, I've never seen a town make so much progress in the just 2 years since I've been here. Dude, I have been saying this for years. I've been saying it about towns like Tucumcari, which already has some epic vintage neon, but I have talked about this on camera and off many times with my friends on Route 66, that whatever town would just put neon signs on all the buildings downtown would bring people here in droves. Dude, we are witnessing the birth of a legend. It's not all vintage neon here. This is all new neon. Look at that. The pawn shop over there's got one. The hardware store's got one with an epic old huge hammer on it. Even this lawyer's office in the old bank has got one along Route 66, and then a huge one over here on the side street. Dude, it's happening. The thing I always said I wished I could see happen in old, forlorn Route 66 towns. Am I hallucinating? This is a whole thing. There's all these metal cutouts with history. This one's telling the story of a bank robbery that happened here in 1915. The First Baptist Church down there's got a neon sign. These towns have always had great murals, but I mean, come on, murals are awesome, but they're a dime a dozen, really. There's one right there over a new Spirit of America Museum. The Chamber of Commerce has got one. Some are little, some are big. There are new neon signs and cut metal signs everywhere. What the heck is going on? Oklahoma, you're doing it. Look at this. Even the senior center has got a lit neon sign. Dude, you watch, you wait and see. This is going to become legendary, a must-do. No longer will it be get to Tulsa as fast as you can. Because look at this, dude, I almost didn't even see this. Look, they have built themselves an old, huge Ozark trail marker. There used to be little concrete markers that looked very much like this, with the miles marked on them on the Ozark Trail before it was Route 66. The little park over here with the gazebo next to the Rock Cafe is all fixed up. This used to be nothing but dirt over here. I almost don't even care about their new little Oklahoma sign. Now look at this, I've noticed this in several of these Route 66 towns, these directional signs. There's neon popping up on every church, senior center, insurance shop. This is what needs to happen in every Route 66 town. I never thought I would actually see something like this come together. Dude, we have seen more things today than my brain could process. And look at this, the Rock Cafe's neon sign is all restored. They got neon piping up around the top of the building. The Curio Shop has got a new neon sign in front of it. This is epic. By the way, the Rock Cafe over here, one of the inspirations for the Pixar movie Cars, specifically the character of Sally, inspired by the owner when Pixar came through. This was sort of the main reason people would stop in Stroud at all, which by the way had some devastating tornadoes of its own in the not too distant past. And now look at this. It's apparently all part of a program called Neon on Main. It's a coordinated effort. They wanted this to be the neon capital of Route 66 for the centennial, and man, they are pulling it off. Apparently they must have got some big grants and some big financial cooperation. But this is just one of the most amazing things I have ever seen. I am really miffed that our hotel is way up in Tulsa. I'm coming back here after dark as soon as it is physically possible for me to do so. My mind is freaking blown. Dude, it's been 20 years since the Pixar movie Cars came out. You know, when Lightning McQueen lights up all those neon signs, nobody took the lesson from that film until this, dude, freaking Stroud. I don't know who is behind this, but whoever it is my hero. I think the thing that surprises me the most is the churches. Even the churches are going full neon. I'm speechless. But I am impressed. Dude, Ghost Road, old alignments of Route 66, the Pixar connection, now all the neon. Stroud has got it going on. I never thought I'd be able to say that. That is one change that just makes me so freaking happy. Dude, it hurts my heart to have to skip forward and fast forward through so much of Route 66, like Bristow, Oklahoma over here, which has now added a whole park dedicated to this epic old Chrysler Plymouth dealership neon sign. Look at the size of that thing. It looks more impressive here in the park than it did in its natural habitat where it used to be. Amazing. I just already see so much of Oklahoma that I'm gonna have to come back through. Dude, when I woke up this morning, I was getting really bummed out by this weather, but it's like it all balanced out because we had one of the greatest days on Route 66 of all time. And yet the storms cometh. It is supposed to be thundering and raining all the rest of our entire trip. Now, I don't know if you know this, but water and cameras don't get along, so I don't know what's going to happen. All right, I hate having to end this way rather than ending it on the side of some remote abandoned stretch of Route 66, but we've traveled through Sapulpa. We kept going down the old Mother Road until we finally reached Tulsa, and then we had to hit the freeway because we're getting hungry, it's getting dark, it's time to hotel and sleep well. Thank you guys for watching. Hit the bell and the subscribe and all the stuff and the thumbs up if you want to see more adventures. That's how YouTube knows to show you some more. Really appreciate you watching all the way to the very end. Don't worry, there will be more adventures ahead. If you want to be part of making those happen, well, our merch store, our Patreon, all those other kind of links are down in the description, or you can just go to randomland.com. One address, pretty easy. One word, randomland, no spaces. Thanks for hanging out, guys. And for now, we've done our duty. Time to go home and sleep well.